I'm Xanthe. I'm 21. I've been doing drag for 2 years. My favourite thing about drag is definitely the people. It was literally like the Serbian Eurovision entry this year, sadly, that made me just fully have to accept it because I kept showing my friends this man. And the way that I would look at that performance and just be like so upset and being like, I can never look like that. I want to look like that so badly. And my friends were like, well, maybe something has to change. I always held a very knowledgeable pride for my community, even when I didn't know that I was queer and non-binary and transmasc and all of those lovely little words. But my relationship with pride with myself is just kind of like it's gotten a lot better. Growing up, I often covered the mirrors in my house. I couldn't look at myself. I just kept joking. I was like, maybe I'm transmasc. Let's put that somewhere else. I'm nowhere near close to what I want to look like in my brain. From the point where I realised that I had to do something and stop living in a body that I was kind of uncomfortable with being perceived as, it was the lockdown. It was also when I started drag. My pride now comes from my voice. So I started using they, he. And at the moment, that is working perfectly for me. I've never felt so comfortable with a set of pronouns. I don't think I'll ever lose the they. I really like the otherness that lies in they. When I came out as queer for the first time, I finally fell into friends because we're so used to being the weird ones and not having anyone. And so we always find each other. That's the source of pride for me. A lot of the people around me that were starting drag at the time, I feel like had drag mothers and drag parents and figures they could look into. And I was always like, oh, I don't think I'm ever going to get one. I'm never really going to have a mother, but that's fine. I can like pave my way. And then it was my friend's birthday. I walk in, Jersey stood by the DJ booth, and it was like kind of like a Moses Red Sea parting of people. And she goes, Xanthe, you want to be my drag child? All of the community was around us, and I was like, yes! It was such a beautiful moment. Jersey got me my first bookings with Bristol Drag Collective and has booked me since. The thing that made me most confident was getting those gigs. That's when the wheel started turning. Every audience that I was performing at the time, them saying, listen, like, you have a way of conveying political messages or emotions like nobody else can. I cried at your number and you were the thing that tipped me over the iceberg that like made me want to do drag. Stuff like that was like, oh damn, like I'm actually causing like an impact and like changing some people's perspectives and expressing things that some people need. I incorporate a lot of stripping and nudity and skin into my drag because it was my way of reclaiming my body. That's how I've found my pride, is through my voice and through other people reaffirming to me that I can talk about these big things and that self-preservation is key. And sometimes it's dangerous to speak out about things that you're not comfortable speaking out about. The fact was that that community told me like, we can talk about these things and we will at every show. It just really adapted the way that I saw myself and held my ground as a person and understood my truth and my identity because of the way that the community told me to like uplift my voice and like stay true to what I wanted to do.
Trans people, we desperately need and we deserve somewhere where we can just be ourselves. And then House of Bussy, I was like, I want this to be like our foundation. I want trans people to be unapologetically themselves, because in so many places outside of our cute little bubble, we are told that we are too angry, we're told we're too like, we're not being like feel good enough. We are not just trans. Like, this is the whole thing, is that like we are politicized, right? Yes. So and like that was why House of Bussy was so important to me, in making an all trans space, because I was like, come in because you're trans, and then we all sit here and we understand we are not just trans. Yeah. We are also our anger, and like we have so many like different stories and inspirations and passions and challenges.
Exactly, but
and
also
we're all
our
unique.
Joy.
Yeah, and our joy, and like,
because that's never really seen in the media at
the
moment.
When I was growing up trans, and like when I came into adulthood, I was like, all right, like I want to be the man that Baby Roo wanted and needed, like and creating the spaces that he needed. Yeah, because of this, like, I feel so much less alone.
I am also going to be hosting. I'm also going to be a little hostington for House of Bussy, which is exciting.
It's hosting to be with us. So excited.
It first came up as the after party being a quiz, and it'd be a fun idea if we did a quiz. Dio, why don't you host this? And I was like, I have never hosted anything in my life. I have never, ever, ever hosted. And I instantly was like, hello, please help me. And then it evolved into us like actually hosting and introducing the bands and stuff.
We were so fixated on like prep in the first time we went out on stage, where like as soon as the first joke landed, we looked at each other and we were like, we can just be silly.
I was like, oh, this is fine.
Hosting is kind of a landmark for any person's drag career. With like a show that's often sold out, I feel like it can be quite intimidating. Well, any performer deals with the kind of complete foil of one another, of being both in a community and also the community's kind of perspective and opinion of you being very dependent on your talent. But I feel like often we convince ourselves that we aren't worthy of our community's time if we don't deliver something perfect and mind-blowing every single time. In every way that I cannot be not okay, I try to be. It's just that at the moment it's genuinely like I have no energy left. I think I'm quite good at kind of masking and pretending like I'm very okay and put together, because at the moment it's very challenging to not think that everybody hates my guts. I don't feel any less anxious necessarily, but I know I am in a space where I can be held and that's okay.
And then you had your first little solo full hosting gig, and what a drag.
I did. It was terrifying. I was stressed. I said this to everyone. I was like, I think I know how to have a silly time now with hosting because I did it with you the first time. Because I was like, that allowed me to have fun. I'm gonna get a bit emotional because I'm going through a very hard time at the moment, and I started doing drag because I really craved a family and a sense of community. And before I did drag, I really never thought that I'd find one. I thought that I was just like a person that was just unlovable. I started doing drag and it taught me so much. I mean, it's the reason why I've now started my transition journey to being transmasc. It is the reason why I now have people that I call family, that I love so, so much, that have given me the reason to be here
but not just here hosting this right now, like here on this planet. I am earnestly so thankful for each and every one of you, because before drag, I did not have a voice. And I suppose in many ways, this number is the number that gave me a voice. So I thought I'd pay due to it, and I thought I'd do it again on this stage. This is kind of just what I consider to be the love letter to all of you and all of my community and everyone I hold close.